So Neighborhood Dispute Settlement is a 501c3 nonprofit. We're located here in Harrisburg. We provide a number of conflict resolution services, including mediation, conflict coaching, youth peace sessions, and also basic conflict resolution trainings. Through these services, we deal specifically with neighbor-to-neighbor, landlord-tenant, family, and custody issues. Our goal is really to empower those who are interacting in conflict situations with the tools and skills that they need so that they're able to hopefully reach some sort of peaceful resolution without the use of violence.
Well, I've witnessed a number of success stories where we get neighbors in here who have been fighting for years, and it's just been a misunderstanding, and they start to hear each other, and even though it gets heated and aggravated in the middle of the session, they start to heal in a matter of 2 or 3 hours, and sometimes they're hugging by the time they leave. So it saves the community financial resources and social resources, and that police don't have to be called, courts don't have to be involved. And these individuals who come to NDS are healed as well, and the anger and negative energy is eliminated, so it helps not only them, but the people around them.
An organization like NDS provides a very necessary opportunity when conflict has come to a point where it's interfering with our lives. It creates an alternative to resolving conflict in less than healthy ways. Conflict engagement can be very productive, but yet it's not something that most of us learn when we're growing up. So NDS provides this really unique and valuable service to the community.
So often in conflict in our culture, we're always looking for this outside savior. We want to call the police, we want to call a lawyer. And what NDS does is it gives people a voice in their own process, whether it's through mediation where they're able to come to the table and talk to the other person, or if it's conflict coaching where we're just helping people to gain awareness about their own needs and their own emotions so that they can more effectively verbalize what it is that's going on with them and what they need and the kind of resolution that they would like to see and how they're handling conflict and how they might do it better.
The success stories, sometimes they're very emotional when you watch family members who've been fighting for years. We deal with the population that struggles from day to day, mostly financially. And when you see that you can make a difference in their lives by bringing them together with the neighbor that they perceive to be a problem, you can see sometimes the relief on their faces in their breathing, and that's very satisfying.
I love to watch the process happen when you create a safe space as a neutral third party and you make sure that people have the opportunity to share their perspective and create opportunity to learn perspectives. Something special happens and people start to connect in places where they never thought they would connect.
Two neighbors were fighting and tension was building. And the one neighbor was banging on a pot in their yard, and the other neighbor couldn't see what they were doing. So the other neighbor thought that pot banging was directed at them just to merely aggravate them. Once they sat down and talked, it turned out that birds were invading this individual's porch and that they were banging the pot to get rid of the birds. And once they started to understand what was really going on, they talked.
I've seen impact in a variety of ways. I think the number one thing though is that people who were headed to court and really at each other's throats realize that they don't need to go that route. They're able to save their resources, they're able to save their relationships and get along much better and much more peacefully, much more productively in their lives, in their neighborhoods.
That instead of calling the police every 2 days, people can sit down and they can talk to each other and healing goes on. So I think from a community standpoint it's very valuable, and from an individual standpoint it's more valuable.
It's an excellent opportunity for people who have not so far been able to resolve their own conflicts. It's accessible. We work on a very, very modest donation, and so therefore anybody really can access the service.
Sometimes people say, oh, is mediation still around, or is mediation still a possibility? So I want people to know that actually it's a growing field, and there are other restorative justice practices that are now being incorporated in many communities.
The number one thing that I want people to know about NDS is that NDS exists. Before you call the cops, before you call a lawyer, before you march into court, give NDS a call, because we're here and we can help. And it's a very affordable option for people in conflict.